All right, welcome in. We are back. We got Daniel back in the building. I did an episode with him last week. It's just not the same when I don't have my main dude here. How you doing, Daniel?
I am phenomenal, actually. It's been a long weekend of family stuff, teaching my daughter how to ride a bike. So that's been my life the past few days, but it's good to be back.
Well, it's funny you mentioned daughter. We're obviously both girl dads. We are into female athletics, so what a perfect time to talk softball. Kylie, how we doing tonight?
Good. How are you guys?
We are excellent. We love a change of pace. We've been hammering baseball. We are big into baseball, but it is nice when we get to transition, talk about other sports, especially talk to female athletes. But let's break the ice and then we'll get into your story. This is a fun one we always ask the female athletes. And when I ask this, the answer doesn't have to be a princess. That's not how we're formatting this. But if I say you can be any Disney character, who would you be? Who would you say?
Oh, goodness. I would go with Elsa.
She's going for the all-powerful princess.
Yes, I'm not really into Disney princesses, but I'll just go with Elsa.
When they got that kind of power, you go, I got you. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Daniel's very familiar with a 6-year-old in his house with
Yeah.
Frozen.
Yes.
All right. So if you can go anywhere to hear any musician, who are you going to see and where are you going to see them?
Um, so I really want to see Zach Bryan, and I would probably go to Colorado.
Nice. It's
Zach
Colorado.
Bryan.
Yeah, I was just saying Colorado, like is this like one of them scenic mountain views in the backdrop?
Yeah, they have a really good when we were there playing softball, he was actually performing there and I never got to go and I kind of regret not going. So
Oh, so you actually had the opportunity to go?
yeah. Hmm.
Oh no.
Yeah.
All right. Well, now you know we always learn lessons in life from mistakes we made. You should have went and saw Zach. He'll forgive you next time. All
Yeah.
right. If you could choose any athlete to go see, whatever team they play, wherever they're playing, who's the athlete, who's the team, where are you going to see them?
Softball wise, I would probably say Sis Bates. That's who I role model my game to, but I'm a big LeBron James fan.
So are you going out to see them in LA? Where are we doing?
Yeah, probably LA. Yeah.
LA, LeBron. I guess if you're gonna go see the King, you got to go see him in LA. That's the spot.
So she's got a West Coast road trip here. I mean, she's got to hit up Colorado. She got to hit up Cali.
I mean, Jim, put in a phone call. Get her courtside to the King.
I,
Let's go.
I could get her the music tickets. I cannot, however, get her courtside to the King. I do not have Jack Nicholson clout, bro.
I'm gonna bring her in with a little Zach Bryan for you.
Oh, you should feel
What do you think
special.
about what do you think about this song, Kylie?
I love this song.
This is a good one,
Good
right?
song. Yeah.
Daniel's messing with you right now because he cannot stand this song.
Oh,
Actually, believe
really?
it or not, Jim, I like him.
Really?
Really.
You like a country artist?
It's so when you think about country, like I don't consider him country, more like a folk type country. And the reason I say that is because when you put different playlists on Spotify, he comes up in a lot of things. So to me, that tells me like he's not like one specific genre of music. So, but anyhow, this ain't about Zach Bryan. It's about you, Kylie. So let's talk a little bit about hometown. Where are you from?
I'm from Waldron, Indiana, a small town of probably 200 people.
200 folks. So tell
Yeah.
me, does everybody know everyone's business?
Oh, absolutely.
So when you go to church, you're sitting in church and everybody in town's up in there.
Oh, yeah.
The,
Yep.
the pastor knows everybody's business, knows who's doing what, and how often they're doing it. So
Daniel, I just can't picture a world like that, especially the way I lived my high school life. Ooh, this is a scary world.
yeah, it is. It's crazy because I couldn't imagine that, but I can definitely see how it could play out and how it can be nice in some regards, but also not so nice in others. So, what is the best thing about Indiana?
Oh goodness. It's very country. I'm a big country person. I don't like cities and being like really close to people. So just it's very homey, I would say. It's a little bit like here, but the people are a lot nicer down here, I would say.
You missed the key answer. You could have said Larry Bird. That's the answer when I think
Oh yeah.
Indiana.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think you immediately in my mind when I think about where people are from, I try to like picture what athletes are from certain areas to kind of get a geographical idea of what you're talking about. But obviously Indiana, out there, Midwest, it's considered
Mhm.
Midwest, right?
Yeah.
So growing up, you said it's tight knit, not many people. What's the family situation like? Are you living with mom, dad? You got brothers, sisters?
Yeah, I'm an only child. It's me
Oh,
and my mom and my dad. Not a very big cousin base. So it's basically me, and then I have two older cousins and then three younger cousins.
so did you ever want brothers and sisters, or were you like the typical like, no, I like being the only, I like all the attention, I like it all. That's it's just me.
Yeah. No, I always wanted a baby brother or a baby sister.
Well, um, being obviously being an only child has its benefits. What would you say the biggest benefit of being an only child is?
I would say I wouldn't have to, it's always me and my parents. I didn't really have to split time with my siblings, but I would say it does get lonely a lot. Just me and my parents all the time and not having anybody like my age.
Yeah, I have two girls. One is 6 and the other one is just turned 10 months. So there's a part of me that is looking forward to when the youngest is a little bit older and they can kind of play and cohabitate together. Because right now, the youngest one's such a baby, and the older one wants to play, but then she realizes like she just can't. So she kind of isolates herself and plays by herself, and like I it hurts me sometimes, but I get it. Like it's
Yeah.
part of growing up and part of her figuring out life. But um, you know, when we talk about, influences and getting into sports or athletics or whatever route that athletes go, we talk about who is their biggest influence. And a lot of people say it's their parents, but then some people say no, it was someone else. But for you, who was your biggest influence growing up?
Someone I always looked up to is like sports wise, I would say Sis Bates. That's the main person I wanted to model my game after, and she's a great person off the field too. But I would say my mom and my grandma have a big part in what I do and why I do it.
Do they, if you have a bad game, do they give you the business? Do they let you know about it?
No, that's what my dad does. Yeah, my mom and my grandma are like, it's okay. Like, it always happens for a reason. Like, you'll get it next time. And my dad's like, yeah, Kylie, come on, pick it up. And it's good to have both sides of it.
Yeah, definitely. So there's always this big debate, travel ball versus high school athletics. And we have athletes come on and from various sports, and they tell the stories of how they were recruited or which was most beneficial. And there's always like a more lean towards travel ball, but there are a select few that say no, it was a high school that allowed me to be, have more fun, be more laid back, there was less pressure, and that's really what drove me to be able to go to the next level. So I'll ask you, who did you play travel ball for, and who did you play high school ball for?
So I played travel ball for Indiana Magic Gold is who I started out with. I played for them 6 years. And then I was already committed to Mississippi State. And then I played for the Lady Dukes out of North Carolina for my last season. But so I'm originally from Waldron, and our house lived there my whole life. So that high school was a 1A school. So then I transferred to Shelbyville, which is 20 minutes away from my house, which is 4A, just for better competition in high school, better academics. And I'm gonna say Indiana softball is the real deal. High school was just as, I wouldn't say just as competitive as travel ball, but Keegan Rothrock, pitcher, we faced her every single year in high school ball. She's a pitcher at Florida right now. So I would say like Indiana softball, we have some amazing athletes coming out of Indiana for softball.
How how pissed was Waldron when you told him I'm out? I'm
Yeah, so
out.
I transferred going in my sixth grade year. So middle school, I was at Shelbyville. Waldron
Oh
really
man, you just took wind out. Like they had master plans. You were a sixth grader, and they were thinking this big picture. Like we're gonna have her for 6 years. We're gonna be able to develop her. She's gonna be the franchise of Waldron. And you said, nope, I'm out.
Yeah. So my dad went to Waldron and my mom went to Shelbyville. So it was a big debate what school I was going to. So I went to Waldron. They didn't really have the best softball program. Like they still struggle to get girls to come try out. And I was going to stay there for basketball, but decided to go to Shelbyville to play softball, basketball, and have a good academics.
Daniel, there's the real reason why she's a LeBron James fan. She did the whole take her talents to South Beach.
I mean, she scored 45 points in a game as a senior. She was the third all-time scorer in Shelbyville history. She was selected All USA Indiana Star Super Team, earned multiple state honors, ranked number 88 women's basketball prospect in Indiana. So yeah, I think she could hoop a little bit. I mean,
Probably beat both of us in our prime. I'm calling it.
look, man, she could beat me outside on the hardwood, but she ain't beat me in the water.
He's got a basketball goal in his pool that
Oh
he
goodness.
loves to take people to school on.
All day. We talk about basketball, softball, obviously. I mean, you were right there as accolades go for basketball. You were right there in softball, ranked 16th nationally by extra inning softball. You were considered the number 9 infielder in the class. You were the number 7 middle infielder according to Fast Pitch Network, and you're selected as a USA Elite All American for 3 consecutive years. All right, so we got to ask, of the two, basketball or softball, which was your favorite?
um, so my seventh grade year, I just decided not to play softball anymore. I used to catch all the time. I just fell out of love for the game. So for 2 months, I played AAU and I was like, I'm gonna go to college for basketball. That's what I want to do. Played about two AAU tournaments and I was like, yeah, this is not for me. So I went back to softball and I'll never go back. My love for the game's just grown ever since then, I would say.
So, I mean, was that a tough decision to make or to tell yourself, I just don't like softball anymore right now? Like, is that hard to like? To me, I feel like it's hard for me to like, if I was younger, to go, you don't like baseball anymore. You need to go play football. How difficult of a decision was that, or was it difficult at all? You just had enough.
Yeah, I think when I first was like having doubts about it, I was like, no, this is something like I've always been doing. Like, I want to go to college for this. And it just kept going on and on and on. And I was like, I just had enough. I couldn't, I just stepped away for a little bit and then refound the love for it. And I, I wouldn't go back and change it.
Do you?
Daniel, I was to say, you remember way back when Greg James told us a story about Cameron doing that. He just had to step away from baseball, and he said he didn't push him back. He just let him come back naturally because he knew that he would miss it. And then he did, and he never turned back after that. Sometimes that break just might be necessary. Regroup.
What I was going to ask is, Kylie, you mentioned, you know, playing travel ball in Indiana and then playing in North Carolina. Was it a lot to go from Indiana to North Carolina and play and just, I mean, to me, I picture you going back and forth for, an entire year or summer or whatever, however much time you played. Like that can take a toll. And at some point, like maybe that something that really created like the angst of playing softball?
Um, so I when my travel ball team, we never played in Indiana. It was all the same tournaments that the Lady Dukes played in. So like we would see them every weekend. The reason why I went to them was just to play with girls that are going to be in the SEC. I feel like most girls from Indiana go to Big Ten, ACC. Select few go to the SEC, and that's always been a goal of mine. Compete with SEC. SEC is where the competition's at. But my sophomore year going into like junior year when we're getting recruited, I think I was home maybe a total of a week that whole summer, and I think that was the most draining part. But it was just like this when I committed, I was like, I did that for a reason, and it was all worth it.
So do you think, obviously you played multiple sports, and do you think playing basketball and having that athleticism for basketball benefited you when it comes to being able to, like you mentioned, a lot of girls from Indiana that played not for the Dukes, but played at other teams went to the Big Ten. But you wanted that big time like SEC caliber, competition. So do you think playing both sports, especially basketball, given the amount of athleticism that you have, do you think that benefited you to be able to take that leap?
Yeah, absolutely. I always tell people go play as many sports as you can because when you get to college, you're most likely going to play one sport. And I feel like basketball helped with my eye coordination. You're going to fail. You're going to miss basically all the shots you take in basketball. You're going to make a couple of them. Like, so it just helped with like the failing process and just like a positive mindset and just being more like fluid with yourself.
Yeah, so you talked about earlier, I mean, you were committed to Mississippi State super early, which, that rule has since changed, but is it the whole small town feel? You talked about playing in the SEC, but specifically was one of the reasons why you chose Starkville was you like that whole small town feel?
Yeah. So I went to my visit to Indiana, then right to Mississippi State. And just being from Indiana, knowing how that is, and then coming down south, it was just like I tell everybody, they're like, why are you so far away from home? I'm like, you don't understand. Like, it's a different type of world. Like, everyone is so nice. Like, I can't believe, like, when we got down here, like, people would just be like, hey, how are you? And I'm like, why are they talking to me? Like, I don't know them. But it was just like, it's like a big, huge family.
Yeah, absolutely. We haven't found a Mississippi State athlete yet that didn't say one of the reasons they chose it was because it felt like home. You talk about you go visit and you just feel welcome there, and then you get there and you get acclimated and just you make instant friends and you find out the fan base is great. So I'll ask you, is there any one major difference from Indiana to, Starkville where you see a major difference? I mean, obviously it's a little bit bigger, but it is the north or the Midwest to the south.
Yeah, I would just say the difference, the people, the lifestyle.
The weather,
It's
we don't get
just
that snow.
I know the weather. It's just I wouldn't trade it for the world. I love being here. I love being down south.
Yeah, you
I'd
can
be
keep that snow
surprised.
up in Indiana. We don't want that
Uh-huh.
here.
Yeah, I would be surprised if I live in Indiana after these 4 years here.
I hear you. So let's talk about this season. I mentioned right off the top, you are a freshman who you would not know as a freshman by the way you play. You've played in all games, starting 13 at shortstop, batting 333, which is second on the team, leading the team in slugging percentage at 667, fifth in on base percentage. How have you felt? You talk about your aspirations to come to the SEC to play on this level. So how have you felt about your performance so far?
Yeah, I'm happy with my hitting. It's usually my defense that's on locks and hitting something I usually like am not the like I'm decent at hitting, but it's defense is always my strong suit. So coming out here, putting in the work over this offseason, changing my whole entire swing, and for it finally paying off in the games, this anything like I'm so grateful for.
Absolutely. So, as a team, y'all are ranked 21. It should go up. The new ranking hasn't came out yet. So y'all obviously move up. Y'all have won six in a row. Just talk about where this team is at right now mentally, because y'all have got to be feeling really, really good.
Yeah, I know we have a chip on our shoulder just to prove ourselves right. Nobody else. The rankings we're a different team than we have been in the past. What Mississippi State softball was, it's a completely different team. We're out here to win ball games, and you can just tell when you watch us play. It's just the excitement, the fire we have in our eyes. Like we're all out there for the same reason, and we're gonna make a big statement this year.
Yeah, and you talk about defense, you look at the scores. I mean, it's clearly y'all have great pitching and defense. You look at the teams, they're not putting up any runs on y'all. Y'all are winning some shootouts. Y'all are getting it done through the pitching, you're getting it done through the defense on the field. And I love it. Obviously, we've had Briley on here. We know she brings a defensive mindset just like you do. So I feel like that's kind of something that maybe y'all embody there. Which is good. I'm always a firm believer that defense wins championships, even in a game like softball. But your next series coming up, it's you're new here, right? But when you play Ole Miss, it means everything. It doesn't matter if you're playing Uno. It is for all the marbles. So, how excited are you to be a part of this rivalry in this upcoming weekend? And, as much as you'd probably like to be home, for somebody who's a competitor like you, it's probably exciting to go to Oxford.
Yeah, so I guess we've heard it today was we had an off day, but we were at the facility and they're like, it's Ole Miss week. And I was like, and everybody just from the start of the season was talking about playing Ole Miss, Ole Miss, Ole Miss, Ole Miss. And even like during football season, everybody was like that. And I'm obviously not from around here, so I don't know how big this competition is, but I can compare it to like Indiana and Purdue playing. So it's like, and they're like, Kylee, get ready. Like, but during so their softball team is redoing their whole entire field. So all their fans will be in the outfield, right behind our outfield. So we'll have nobody behind the backstops. All their fans are just going to be pushed in the outfield.
Hey,
Oh,
that'll feel weird.
Yeah.
That's just terrible for them.
Yep.
But I got news for them. They better be like, oh shit, it's Mississippi State week.
Mhm.
Daniel, it means so much. I think back to 2022 when the baseball team for Ole Miss won the national championship, and Mississippi State didn't care because they were like, "We still beat you for the 8th year in a row, and we know who
Yeah.
runs the state."
Yeah.
They won a national championship, still wouldn't
Now
let them have the
that's
glory.
now that's kind of silly, but I get it.
Hey, Mississippi. When you look at sports outside of football, where it's been pretty much even matched, Mississippi State owns Ole Miss basically in everything, and so until otherwise, they are the kings of Mississippi.
Yes.
So one other series I want to talk to you about, and I'll let Daniel play a game. I'm going to be there for when the Vols come in town. We have had 3 guests. Most recently, Carolyn Pickens. Obviously a really good team. You're undefeated at home right now. I mean, y'all are very good in general, but definitely when you are in Nuts Park. So just talk about how excited you'll be for that weekend. Hopefully everything stays right and y'all are keeping that home field advantage. But to have what could be a top 5 team from Knoxville coming into town, into your stadium.
Yeah, it will be definitely a really good matchup. I think that's a little bit from now, right?
Yeah, it's like 3 weeks. It's actually gonna be ironically, this is what's gonna make it hard for me, but this shows my dedication to y'all and the Tennessee girls. It's Ole Miss Mississippi State baseball weekend, but because the games are at different times, I'm going to go start the day in Starkville and then drive to Oxford. I'm getting
I've been.
softball and baseball all in one day. Let's go.
Yeah, no, I think it will be a really good matchup. We're out there to prove ourselves, right? Nobody else. So I just think it's going to be a really good matchup and it's going to be a show for sure.
I I don't even think it's going to be a contest. I think Mississippi State's going to be highly ranked at that point, and it's going to be a bad weekend for the Vols.
Wow. Charlie said she was gonna come back on here and talk to us. She hears that clip. She might not, Daniel.
I mean, it is what it is. I'm sorry. I'm, I hurt feelings sometimes by telling people the truth, but I'm sorry.
I know why you like Mississippi State though. It is that chip on that shoulder. As soon as she said that to you, and you know that they're the underdog, you immediately became a fan.
Yeah, of course. I like that, and I like when you tell me defensive mindset and you want to get after it on the defensive end. Like that's what I'm about. Grinders. Let's go. Kylie, it's time to play a game. It's a game that's sweeping the country. Every guest that has been on the show has played this or that. So I will ask you, are you ready to play?
Yeah.
All right, Jim. Who is this or that brought to you by?
I mean, normally I want to say Chinook Cedary, but I feel like with a Mississippi State guest, it's got to be the Bellsmith, right?
Faux show. You know who the Bellsmith is?
Of course.
The Bellsmith. I'm telling you, if you wanna one, just completely discombobulate the opponent when they come into your house, look up the Bellsmith, get a bell, and just ring it. Just ring
Speaking of, I'm gonna try to ring it out here, get the attention of the camera. We got the
it.
Riley one,
There it is, right there.
and I and I and I
Handcrafted.
and I tell you what, Daniel, I think they should. It's against the rules, but we're just talking about Oxford. I think they should be able to take them into Oxford and just piss them off.
How is that against the rules?
You can only use them in Mississippi State venues, man. It's unfortunately a rule.
I know it's against the rule, but like how? How can I just don't understand how that can be against the rules. It's like saying, hey, you can wear purple when you're in Indiana, but you can't wear purple in Mississippi. Like that's just silly. Like to me, like if I want to take my bell and ring it, I should have the right to do so. Jeez. People are just trying to take all the fun out of it, Kylie. But anyhow, handcrafted custom bell, support athletes, support Mississippi State. Go, don't get arrested by taking your bell to Oxford and being crazy. I'm not
Well,
promoting
being
that.
that you're a Memphis fan, they made sure to be adamant about not bringing them bells in because they came back at us, Daniel. They said they allow us to bring our guns in.
Uh, very true. Like
I
that.
was
See
wondering how
what
you
I'm
were going to
saying?
take that. I was wondering how you were going to take that.
It's just silly. Just silly. But anyhow, on to the game. All right. It's very simple. I'll give you two options, Kylie. You pick one option or the other. Can't say both. Can't say neither. Be decisive. Pick one that you're just feeling. Go with your gut. Go with your heart. Whatever it takes. Just pick one.
Okay.
Got it? Here we go. Layup question. Shrimp tacos or steak tacos?
Steak tacos.
Steak tacos. All right. Are you hard shell taco or soft shell taco?
Soft.
Ooh, yeah, I get it. I get it. All right. Next question is a question that is just completely like just run roughshod over season 9. And it's a new question, and it's a question that we didn't know how people would take, but people have really amazing takes on this question. So, liquid soap or bar soap? You have
Liquid
to pick one for the rest of your life.
liquid soap.
Do
I
you realize
agree.
liquid soap only cleans 50% of your body?
Yeah, but I can just sit there and pump
Hey,
it on my hand and then
she took my lie, Daniel, and just ran with it. I was actually lying, but she's like, yeah, but like she wouldn't even care if it was 50%. She was cool with it.
Oh, bro, that's right. That's how adamant liquid soap users are.
You know what I'm starting to find out, Daniel? More of these guys are cleaner than the women because they're more bar soap guys.
Hey, that's ludicrous. All right. Next question. White or black uniforms?
black uniforms.
Black.
Dude, their black uniforms go hard, and it's the reason why Mississippi State baseball messed up. And Daniel, you know that because you voted once upon a time for the Sunday Blacks when we did our uniform debate. I love the All Blacks. They go hard.
You know, I hate when I hate it's hard for me to say this because I'm a baseball guy, but I hate when traditionalists want to be over extra traditional, if that makes sense. Can't have black uniforms because it's not the school colors. It's not what we do. Man, get out of here with that garbage. You better pay
And
your alumni fees and your donor money and just sit there and be happy that you get to watch.
we bring up Tennessee, Daniel. The two most elite uniform kits in the country belong to Mississippi State and Tennessee, hands down. Because the whites that you wrote, the icy whites are just. And then you talk about the Summit Blues over there in Tennessee. Like that's not just a top 10 top 10 softball battle. That might be a top 2 uniform battle.
Very, very true. All right, from uniforms to parties, costume party or pool party?
Pool party.
Pool party for sure. Would you rather be lost in the jungle or trapped in a haunted house?
Lost in the jungle.
You guys, this is
What if it's nighttime? You still
Yo,
sticking with it?
Yeah, I don't do haunted houses.
see, I tell everybody this. I can mentally prepare myself for a haunted house and go, this is not real. In the jungle, there's no way I can mentally go, This is not real. No, this is really real.
That snake you feel across the back of your neck,
Yeah.
That is
that's
so
real.
real.
Yeah, I might have to take my answer back on that one.
See, I glad I can talk some sense. All right. Would you rather have a private yacht or a private jet?
Ooh, private yacht.
On the
Yeah.
boat. Jim's a private yacht guy. Not me, though. I want to be able to go anywhere. I don't want to be like locked to just the water travel.
But she told you she's small town. She's not worried about getting everywhere. She's probably good with just being out in the middle of the ocean by herself.
You'd be
Yep.
like the folks down here in Tampa, they park their boat in the dock and you don't ever see that thing leave.
That's what he told me. We started this question and then I went to Tampa to visit him. I said, "Look at that yacht. Who wouldn't want that?" And he was like, "Bro, that thing's never even left there."
Nope. I mean, the amount that they pay for the yacht and then turn around to dock it and then to fuel it, like,
I think that's the problem. They can't afford to fuel it after they bought it, Daniel. That's why it stays parked.
because people don't understand the like the upkeep of something like that. It's crazy. All right, Kylie, last question. Would you rather have $10 million or would you rather win a national championship?
National championship.
Really? If I brought you a suitcase full of crisp $100 bills to the sum of 10 million, you'd be like, man, get that shit away from me. Give me the national championship.
Oh yeah,
Let's go.
national championship.
Oh,
We can wait make the money later, but
well,
you can only win a national championship out of your 4 years, so
very true. Very true.
that's what you work up for your whole life, so might as well.
Yeah, it's very respectable answer. It's something that it's just weird. Like if you've never been in it, you wouldn't be able to understand what it means to work really, really hard for that and do it with a team of people, knowing that it wasn't just one person's contribution, it was everybody's collectively that was
Mhm.
that allowed you to do it. So I think
Daniel,
that's pretty cool.
what I think about with her being a former basketball player, with her being a female athlete, I think about like Caitlin Clark, right? She's fixing to get all the money she wants, but she lost that national championship game. And that's something that goes by every day that, she wishes she had. And I think that's the point we get from all these athletes. Like to win a national championships comes with something that you just can't replace. You're a champion, the memories that come with it. I'm pretty sure you could ask Caitlin, would she be willing to forfeit some of that money coming in for that championship? She'd probably tell you, yeah.
Mhm.
I don't know. Maybe we should ask her. Go ahead.
You
Shoot
want
her
to
a
get Caitlin
message.
Clark on here?
Man,
Pretty. Hey, look, we're
good
getting
shot, bro.
we're getting pretty big up there. We did have Austin Riley and everything. I know that makes you think I might be able to get people, but I don't know. Caitlin's probably pretty
I
big.
I got an idea. Now hear me out. Kylie, we're gonna need your help, right? Caitlin Clark is gonna be the number one pick in the
Yeah,
WNBA draft. Do you know who has the number one pick?
Indiana fever.
That's right. Guess who is from Indiana?
Look at that. It's a small world.
Yeah. Do you
I don't
know
think
it?
I have the pulls like to get
Well,
Caitlin Clark on here.
you have a few months. You know, you can I think if I was like, Kylie, this is your task. I believe in you. I think you could actually get it done. If
Actually,
you
you know what?
really wanted to.
She
I think
works the opposite way, Daniel. You have to tell her you don't think she can do it because she just ain't good enough, and then she'll get it done.
I mean, who am I to tell somebody they're not good enough? Come on now.
Yeah.
That's not me. All right, Kylie. Anything you want to plug or promote before you get out of here?
Nope.
Well, I had a feeling you might say that, so I'm going to help you out.
Okay.
All right, everybody, if you want to know what Kylie Edwards is up to, maybe it's Monday night and she's recording a podcast. Maybe it's Taco Tuesday and she's having steak soft tacos. Who knows? It could be anything. Maybe she's on the diamond getting ready to get after it. Either way, go on over to Instagram at Kylie Lynn Edwards, or if you want to see what Mississippi State softball's got cooking, you want to see hype videos, highlights, you want to see rotations, lineups, the whole nine, at Hail State SB. Check it out or get left out. Right, Kylie?
Right.
That's it. All right, Kylie, we appreciate you as always. Have a safe and healthy season. And when you guys do something really special this season, we're going to bring you back on and we're going to talk about it.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.
Absolutely. That's Kylee Edwards, everybody. If you like hearing Kylie's story or you just like hearing us average Joes talk X's and O's, please like and share the podcast on Facebook, retweet us on Twitter, listen and subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Anchor. As always, comments, ratings, feedback, thumbs up, hearts, hugs, loves. We'll take it all. And we got a busy week. Tomorrow, we're talking LSU with Jake Brown. Wednesday, we got Campbell baseball with Grant Kipp. And then we are going live that evening at 10th inning for a Survivor 46 watch party. If you didn't know, you're going to know now. Montavious Burdett, former guest on the In Off the Bench podcast, is a contestant on Survivor 46. Had a strong first episode. Looking forward to episode 2. After Survivor goes off, we're going to be talking LSU gymnastics with Savannah Schroner. This has been the In Off the Bench podcast. As always, remember, strong body, sharp minds, grit and grind all the time. We are out.